If I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
According to Barbie, she is the reason people are watching the WNBA. She is the reason that people are paying $16 to watch the Chicago Bravado play the Phoenix Masculines later today. What a matchup! The Bravado, the cap of caps. For the better part of 2 years, maybe even 3 years, the mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star. Some in the media even do investigative journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism.
The declaration echoed through the halls of women's basketball like a thunderclap. I am the reason why we watching women's basketball. Angel Reese, with audacious confidence, staked her claim to history, asserting her singular, undeniable impact on the WNBA's surging popularity. In her own words, she wasn't merely playing in the league, she was the WNBA, the magnetic force single-handedly pulling millions of captivated eyes to the sport. This was the narrative, spun meticulously by media and amplified by her own conviction, painting a portrait of an athlete larger than the game itself. But then, the votes came in, not the deafening roar of a stadium, but the silent, brutal verdict of the all-star ballots. The universe might as well have glitched. Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed catalyst of women's basketball, didn't crack the top 10 in all-star votes. She barely even snuck into the top 15. The news hit like a cold shower, dousing the flames of an inferno of hype. Twitter was in shambles, group chats exploded, and somewhere, a hype train screeched to a halt, derailing spectacularly. Had fans gone blind, or did her jump shot, elusive as it was, take the ballots with it? This wasn't just a snub, it was a harsh, undeniable reckoning, a jarring collision between the audacious declarations of a rising star and the unforgiving, scoreboard-driven reality of professional sports. It begged the question, what truly drives an audience to watch, and more importantly, to vote? And what happens when a crown is claimed, but the kingdom remains unconquered?
One reason why Mr. Dennis Rodman never got the backlash that Miss Angel Reese is getting? Because there is no athlete in the history of sports that have come into a professional league and proclaimed themselves to be the best or to be the reason why people are watching this league now. No athlete has ever done that. Not even Caitlin Clark, which we know that is the reason why we watch the WNBA, but you never hear Caitlin Clark say, I am the reason why we are watching the WNBA. LeBron James came into the league. You know what they nicknamed him? They nicknamed him the King. He didn't give himself that nickname. They proclaimed him to be the next one. And what's crazy is in the beginning of LeBron James' career, they said he was too nice. They said he wasn't cocky enough. There's a thing that we love about great athletes. It's called humility. It's a modest or low view of one's importance.
It's garbage. Golly. Man, Angel Reese with a triple single, 9 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. She was a minus 25. She was 1 for 1 from the field, and it was a 3-pointer. She shot 100% from the field. She made a 3, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. 9 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Terrible game. Minus 25. Man, the Sky, bro, I don't know what y'all gonna do. Y'all like the punching bag between the Sky and the Connecticut Sun.
Now, guys, y'all saw what happened with Angel Reese. It took her 36 minutes to get it. And as soon as she got it, all these records, right? And why can't I celebrate it? The night before, she was just crashing out on social media, talking about all the fans who hate her because she cute, hate her because of her rebound. And then what got to her was the whole me bounds thing, where people are saying that most of her rebounds come off of her shots. Y'all, if y'all watch this channel, y'all have probably seen, you know, her social media take on that night before the game.
For the better part of 2, perhaps even 3 years, mainstream media diligently worked to convince us that Angel Reese was not just a star, but the star. Investigative journalists, or perhaps just highly enthusiastic social media managers, proclaimed her the face of the WNBA, citing her colossal social media following as irrefutable proof. Yet the same whispers that celebrated her online presence often hinted at a different truth on the court: missed layups and a disconcerting lack of athletic polish. Her start to the season has been rougher than a gym floor burn, marked by a consistent inconsistency that has become her unfortunate signature. If you shuffled her highlight reel, you might honestly mistake it for a blooper compilation. Shots that clanked off the backboard, bricks from mid-range, and defense that looked less like strategic containment and more like an impromptu interpretive dance. It's the kind of performance that leaves coaches reaching for both blood pressure medication and a stress ball simultaneously. Consider her infamous triple single game: 9 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, a dismal -25 for the night. Her shooting: a single made three-pointer resulting in a misleading 100% from the field, masking the abysmal 2 for 7 overall performance in another game. This wasn't the stuff of legends, it was the stuff of grim reality checks. The votes, those silent arbiters of fan perception, screamed the truth. When the ballots were counted and her name didn't appear in the top 10, the silence was deafening, louder than any stat sheet. There was no sympathy spot, no "we love your hustle" placement, just pure, unadulterated absence, as if she had simply evaporated from the all-star conversation. Yet an entire segment of the public seemed genuinely stunned, as if vibes alone were supposed to propel her to superstardom, defying the basic tenets of on-court production.
And in simple, you'll get a response. And oh, what's this response I get? Let's go through this together like it was in real time. Angel Reese said people watch the WNBA to see her play. Today is a perfect example of why people don't watch the WNBA at all. Okay, so already this is not trending good. Caitlin Clark is out. Angel Reese is playing. Tickets for the game, $3. Okay, that's a joke they run on the Clippers a lot of times. That doesn't really get to me. Angel Reese pulling up the games like it's New York Fashion Week. Oh, this is what she wore to the game. Not mad at that. Everybody has seen Debo Samuel show up to games and play well, and also not play so well. So I'm still a little torn. I don't know what happened. Then I see this, leaving with 4 points and 2 rebounds.
Angel Reese needs to be better at basketball. I'm not talking about as a person. I'm not talking about as a podcaster. I'm not talking about at the Met Gala. She needs to be a better player if we want this rivalry to be able to have some staying power. She had a very, very busy offseason, but at this moment, it does not seem like the offseason involved a lot of Mikan drills of left-handed layups. Right now, Angel Reese, she is a wildly famous rebounder.
This brings us to a stark, illuminating contrast. Throughout sports history, few, if any, athletes have entered a professional league and immediately proclaimed themselves the best or the sole reason for audience engagement. Not even Dennis Rodman, for all his eccentricities, faced the kind of backlash Angel Reese is encountering, because even his self-aggrandizement was rooted in a demonstrable, albeit chaotic, skill set. Caitlin Clark, the undisputed catalyst for the WNBA's current surge in popularity, has never once uttered, "I am the reason why we are watching the WNBA." She doesn't need to, her game speaks for itself. LeBron James, dubbed the King before he ever stepped on an NBA court, didn't give himself that moniker. It was a testament to his undeniable generational talent proclaimed by others. In fact, in the early stages of his career, some critics even lamented that he was too nice, not cocky enough. There's a subtle yet powerful quality that defines truly great athletes: humility, a modest, low view of one's own importance that allows the game to do the talking. Angel Reese, by contrast, seems to have reversed the order, asserting her importance before the game has fully concurred. The irony, sharp and cutting, cannot be ignored. While Angel Reese was tirelessly campaigning as the league's designated face, others were quietly, ferociously earning their place. Caitlin Clark, for example, was getting hacked, fouled, bumped, shoved, and smacked, yet still managed to look like she was playing chess while everyone else was doing TikTok dances. Angel, meanwhile, often appeared to be still buffering. The moment the season tipped off, it became painfully clear. Bringing eyes to the sport is one thing. Keeping those eyes glued when you're shooting 2 for 11 on national television is entirely another. If eyes were truly on the sport because of Angel Reese, they're now peeking through fingers. Like it's a horror movie, every game becomes a suspense thriller, with fans waiting, hoping for her to finally snap out of it. Spoiler alert, the wait continues.
On this. So even though everybody might think you're the greatest, everybody might be so excited about your performance, you scored 40 points, you come into the press conference, you're like, I guess the shots were just falling for me. Not, oh, I'm the best and none of these motherfuckers can guard me, because they respect the game, they respect players. The reason so many people don't like Angel Reese It's because she's self-proclaiming herself to be something that she has not done yet. She said, I am the reason why people are watching the WNBA, but it's not true. What's crazy is her fans don't even watch her game.
Now, for the wildly overrated and shockingly underrated Angel Reese, I saw on X, formerly Twitter, the other day that Angel Reese was getting bombarded with criticism for her sorry performance in Chicago's 79-52 home loss to Caitlin Clark's Fever without the injured Caitlin Clark. Ah, man. Angel wound up with a grand total of 4 points on 2 out of 7. Didn't shoot a single free throw. Although she did have 12 rebounds, her average, which does lead the league. But a couple of times Angel drove it and flung up just these wild shots from 3 or 4 feet that missed the rim by, 3 or 4 feet.
Beyond the actual gameplay, there's the perception, magnified by her social media presence. Angel Reese pulling up to games looking like it's New York Fashion Week has become a recurring theme. While style is part of the modern athlete's brand, it cannot be the entire brand. Somewhere between the glitz and the glamour, she seems to have forgotten that being a professional means producing, not just posing with sunglasses or going viral for the occasional stare down. It means rebounds, assists, blocks, and, most critically, actual buckets. These are the tangible elements that fans vote for, the fundamental contributions that she hasn't exactly been dishing out consistently. Her stat sheets, in harsh black and white, tell a tragic story. Field goal percentages so low they need a step stool. Turnovers that often outnumber her assists. She's heralded as the queen of the paint, yet too often she's been boxed out like she's allergic to the ball, resembling someone attempting algebra with oven mitts on. The fans, those loyal legions, were indeed ready. They showed up, they campaigned, they hyped her with the fervor reserved for the second coming of Lisa Leslie, armed with a cutting-edge social media team. But when the votes dropped, even the most delusional superfans had to squint in disbelief. Top 10, she couldn't even sneak into the top 15. You'd think someone might have thrown her a pity vote just for effort, or for that one time she stared down Caitlin Clark during the NCAA tournament as if she'd just dropped 40 points. All-Star games aren't built on facial expressions, however captivating. They're built on performance. And so far, her season has been a very glamorous, very public flop. And then of course there's the drama. With every all-star snub comes the outrage, the conspiracy theories, the dramatic Instagram stories. Some argue it's a popularity issue, which is laughable given that Angel Reese is one of the most talked about names in the league. No, this isn't about popularity, it's about performance. And when it comes to that, Angel has largely been playing like she's still stuck in preseason mode. She talks the talk loudly and repeatedly, but walking the walk. Let's just say her sneakers have barely scuffed the all-star court. In fact, if she walked into the all-star locker room right now, half the players might genuinely think she's delivering Gatorade. This isn't shade. It's a stark reflection of how far her current gameplay is from the elite all-star level.
Angel Reese. What happened to the Angel Reese fan base? Have y'all truly abandoned Angel Reese? Is the star shining? Does the star shine dimming on Angel Reese now? Have her own people just left her? Have they forgotten her? Do they no longer love her? I mean, she celebrates mediocrity with the me-bound thing that she thinks that she's just gonna so randomly get. I know people all thought that was brilliant and so forth, and she can make whatever t-shirts she wants. You do know that patents are not just trademarks are not just given. They take 12 to 18 months for approval, and half of them are rejected.
So it was literally a case of, Angel Reese got in by coaches. So the only players that I would assume are going to get in on, based on that is, I think it'll probably be, I think Caitlin will, obviously. Caitlin will get in. I think it's to pick the starters, I think. So I think it'll be Caitlin, it'll be Fee, it'll be Aaliyah, it'll be Aja, it'll be Stewie, it'll be Paige. Angel Reese is 13th in All-Star voting, lads. She is 13th. in All-Star vote.
This isn't about hating Angel Reese. It's about the facts. It's about a player who embraced the hype before delivering the goods. A player who seemingly believed that college clout was a lifetime pass to the pinnacle of the WNBA. But the professional league doesn't hand out medals for vibes, for social media likes, or for a captivating off-court presence. It hands them out for points, for rebounds, for defense, for leadership. You know, the stuff All-Stars actually do. The reason so many people express their disgruntlement with Angel Reese isn't personal. It's because she's self-proclaiming herself to be something she hasn't earned yet. She declared, "I am the reason why people are watching the WNBA," but the evidence suggests otherwise. What's even crazier is the quiet concern that her own fans aren't truly watching her game with the same fervor they display for her off-court persona. Right now, Angel Reese's greatest achievement this season might just be getting people to talk about her without mentioning basketball. Fashion? Sure. Brand deals? Absolutely. Off-court presence? No doubt. But All-Star? Not even close. Because the last time anyone checked, the All-Star game isn't a photo shoot. It's a showcase of raw talent. And talent, as brutal as it sounds, hasn't exactly been lighting up the scoreboard in her case. While she may indeed be bringing eyes to the sport is politely asking if she could also bring a decent shooting percentage with those eyes, maybe a few double-doubles, perhaps less drama, and significantly more hustle. The WNBA is packed with hungry, supremely talented women grinding every single game, and right now, Angel's performance is looking more like a TikTok trend that has already faded into irrelevance.
Had lost its new point guard, the great Courtney Vandersloot, to just an awful knee injury. She tore her ACL. That was in the first quarter. That took the life out of the home team and took the quarterback out of the offense. But still, Angel looked pretty sorry, as she often does. Just being honest. I mean, as a post player, shooting a lot of point-blank shots at the rim, last year Angel made only 39% of her shots. Which ranked 50th of 55 players.
You made some comments about Angel Reese.
Yeah.
You called her garbage compared to Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I love black people. But I think sometimes we do play the race card too much. This ain't racial. This is about sports. This is about athletic ability. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Caitlin Clark's game, who's very reminiscent of a Steph Curry based on her range and shooting the three, plus everything else she does. And then you look at Angel Reese, stop it.
The league is not a popularity contest. It's not a runway. It's not about who has the loudest fan base or the slickest post-game fits. It's about results. If Angel Reese wants to be more than just a headline, she's gonna have to stop coasting on potential and start showing why she deserves to be in the conversation, why she deserves to be selected. Take the recent Chicago 79-52 home loss to Caitlin Clark's Fever, notably without the injured Caitlin Clark. Angel wound up with a grand total of 4 points on 2 out of 7 shooting, not even attempting a single free throw. While she did snag 12 rebounds, which averages to her league-leading numbers, there were cringeworthy moments. Wild shots flung from 3 or 4 feet, missing the rim by an equal distance. Her 39% shooting last year, ranking 50th out of 55 players, paints a consistent picture. Every time she gets minutes on the court, it feels like the coach rolled the dice and lost. Her presence often feels less like a game changer and more like a walking foul magnet, a cheat code for the opposing team whose offensive efficiency seems to jump 10% just by her entering the airspace. And don't forget the off-court energy. Oh, she's always ready with a quote, always has something to say. But when you peel back the headlines, it's often smoke and no fire. There's no substance, no meat. It's all cotton candy, big, loud, colorful, but disappears the second you actually try to chew on it. Meanwhile, players who are actually grinding, actually hooping, are getting drowned out by the non-stop hype train that is the Angel Reese PR campaign. And honestly, for many, it's exhausting. Imagine working your entire life to make it to the league, putting up solid numbers, leading your team, only to get overshadowed by someone whose primary contribution is being tall, loud, and occasionally dramatic. The WNBA indeed has a talent issue, but not because it's lacking talent. It's because it too often refuses to reward talent over noise, prioritizing personality over performance. This isn't racial, it's about sports. It's about athletic ability. When you look at Caitlin Clark's game, reminiscent of a Steph Curry with her range and shooting, plus everything else she does, and then you look at Angel Reese, the contrast is stark. You simply cannot build a league on attitude and post-game shade. You build it on results, consistency, and actual basketball. And yet, here we are, still entertaining the idea that she should be in the All-Star game, as if the league needs more awkward missed shots and less actual competitiveness. At this point, throwing her into the All-Star mix would be like casting someone who has never held a microphone as the headliner at Coachella. It's unfair to the fans, unfair to the actual stars, and ultimately unfair to the integrity of the game itself. So no, Angel Reese not making the top 10 is not a tragedy. It is not injustice. It is not hate. It's simply reality finally catching up to the hype machine. And if she wants a different result next year, she's gonna have to do something truly wild, something revolutionary, something unheard of. She's gonna have to start playing better basketball. Until then, keep the fake outrage, the media spin, and the highlight reels of defensive disasters, because the real highlight will be the moment she finally realizes that this league doesn't owe her a thing. And if you want those coveted all-star votes, you have to earn them, not manifest them through hashtags, hot takes, or the audacious declaration that you are the sole reason anyone is watching.